Hello dear friend, and welcome to On This Day SMR with me, Edward Hertz, where we take a look back through history at events which took place on this day. The rain is gently pittering and pattering away on the window, and the fire is crackling away nicely in the hearth. So put your headphones on, sit back, relax, and let me take you on a journey back through time. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd of April 2024, and we have 42 events to cover, going all the way back to the year 1513. Starting with the most recent event, which happened 3 years ago. At least 49 people are killed in a train derailment in Taiwan after a truck accidentally rolls onto the track. In the same year, a Capitol police officer is killed and another injured when an attacker rams his car into a barricade outside the United States Capitol. 4 years ago in 2020, COVID-19 pandemic. The total number of confirmed cases reach 1 million. 9 years ago in 2015, gunmen attack Garissa University College in Kenya, killing at least 148 people and wounding 79 others. In the same year, 4 men steal items worth up to £200 million from an underground safe deposit facility in London's Hatton Garden area in what has been called the largest burglary in English legal history. 10 years ago in 2014, a spree shooting occurs at the Fort Hood Army Base in Texas with 4 dead, including the gunman and 16 others. 12 years ago in 2012, a mass shooting at Oikos University in California leaves 7 people dead and 3 injured. In the same year, U-Tair Flight 120 crashes after takeoff from Rashino International Airport in Tyumen, Russia, killing 33 and injuring 10. "18 years ago in 2006, over 60 tornadoes break out in the United States. Tennessee is hardest hit, with 29 people killed. 20 years ago in 2004, Islamist terrorists involved in the 11th of March 2004 Madrid attacks attempt to bomb the Spanish high-speed train AVE near Madrid. The attack is thwarted. 22 years ago in 2002, Israeli forces surround the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem, into which armed Palestinians had retreated. 32 years ago in 1992, in New York, mafia boss John Gotti is convicted of murder and racketeering and is later sentenced to life in prison. In the same year, 42 civilians are massacred in the town of Bijeljina in Bosnia and Herzegovina. 33 years ago in 1991, Rita Johnston becomes the first female premier of a Canadian province when she succeeds William van der Zalm, who had resigned, as Premier of British Columbia. 35 years ago in 1989, Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev arrives in Havana, Cuba, to meet with Fidel Castro in an attempt to mend strained relations. 38 years ago in 1986, Alabama Governor George Wallace, a former segregationist best known for the stand in the schoolhouse door, announces that he will not seek a fifth four-year term and will retire from public life upon the end of his term in January 1987. "42 years ago in 1942, in the Falklands War, Argentina invades the Falkland Islands. 44 years ago in 1980, United States President Jimmy Carter signs the Crude Oil Windfall Profits Tax Act. 45 years ago in 1979, a Soviet biowarfare laboratory at Sverdlovsk accidentally releases airborne anthrax spores, killing 66 plus an unknown amount of livestock. 48 years ago in 1976, Prince Norodom Sihanouk resigns as leader of Cambodia and is placed under house arrest. 49 years ago in 1975, in the Vietnam War, thousands of civilian refugees flee from Quang Ngai province in front of advancing North Vietnamese troops. 51 years ago in 1973, the launch of the LexisNexis computerized legal research service. 52 years ago in 1972, actor Charlie Chaplin returns to the United States for the first time since being labelled a communist during the Red Scare in the early 1950s. 55 years ago in 1969, LOT Polish Airlines Flight 165 crashes into the Polika Mountain near Zawoja, Poland, killing 53. 60 years ago in 1964, the Soviet Union launches Zond 1. 68 years ago in 1956, as the world turns and The Edge of Night premiere on CBS, the two soaps become the first daytime dramas to debut in the 30-minute format. "70 years ago in 1954, a 19-month-old infant is swept up in the ocean tides at Hermosa Beach, California. Local photographer John L. Gaunt photographs the incident. 1955 Pulitzer winner, Tragedy by the Sea. 94 years ago in 1930, after the mysterious death of Empress Zuditu, Haile Selassie is proclaimed Emperor of Ethiopia. 103 years ago in 1920, the autonomous government of Khorasan, a military government encompassing the modern state of Iran, is established. 107 years ago in 1917, American entry into World War I. President Wilson asks the US Congress for a declaration of war on Germany. 112 years ago in 1912, the ill-fated RMS Titanic begins sea trials. 113 years ago in 1911, the Australian Bureau of Statistics conducts the country's first national census. 122 years ago in 1902, Dmitry Sipyagin, Minister of the Interior of the Russian Empire, is assassinated in the Mariinsky Palace, St. Petersburg. In the same year, Electric Theatre, the first full-time movie theatre in the United States, opens in Los Angeles. 139 years ago in 1885, Canadian Cree warriors attack the village of Frog Lake, killing 9. "159 years ago in 1865, in the American Civil War. Defeat at the Third Battle of Petersburg forces the Army of Northern Virginia and the Confederate government to abandon Richmond, Virginia. 161 years ago in 1863, also in the American Civil War, the largest in a series of Southern bred riots occurs in Richmond, Virginia. 223 years ago in 1801, in the French Revolutionary Wars, in the Battle of Copenhagen, a British Royal Navy squadron defeats a hastily assembled, smaller, mostly volunteer Dano-Norwegian Navy at high cost, forcing Denmark out of the Second League of Armed Neutrality. 224 years ago in the year 1800, Ludwig van Beethoven leads the premiere of his First Symphony in Vienna. 232 years ago in 1792, the Coinage Act is passed by Congress, establishing the United States Mint. 269 years ago in 1755, Commodore William James captures the Maratha fortress of Savannadurg on the west coast of India. 511 years ago in 1513, having spotted land on March the 27th, Spanish explorer Juan Ponce de Leon comes ashore on what is now the US state of Florida, landing somewhere between the modern city of St. Augustine and the mouth of the St. Johns River. So that is all we have for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you found our little trip back through history both relaxing and informative. If you did indeed like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also consider leaving a comment below. All feedback is very much welcome. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help the channel grow and will ensure that you are notified of future videos. Be sure to turn on notifications so that you are notified of future videos as soon as they are posted. Thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.